Happy St. Patrick's Day, whiskey lovers. Welcome back to Whiskey Gal. I wanted to do an extra short video this week in honor of the holiday, and we'll be looking at some little fun details about Ireland and the history of their distilling and whiskey. As I mentioned before, there is some debate, of course, of who invented whiskey. One of the ideas is that it was the Irish monks who picked up the skill of distilling perfumes when they used to visit the Mediterranean in the 11th century. Then they modified it to actually make a drinkable spirit. The oldest written record in Ireland of whiskey was found in the Annuals of Clonmacnoise, which is an early English translation from the 17th century of the Lost Irish Chronicles. Now, it says in there that the head of a clan had died from taking a surfeit of aquavita on Christmas. For those of you who don't know, aquavita is the Latin translation of the water of life, which is also what whiskey means. In Irish Gaelic, they would call it Ishkabaha. Without the knowledge of the aging process, the whiskey that was produced would have been very raw and not extremely pleasant on its own. So other herbs would have been added, such as mint, thyme. Anise was also one that was a spice that was used. And of course, there might have been some other spices in there, but they used those to make it a bit more pleasant. Irish whiskey grew from a local pastime to an industry in 1608. This is when the old Bushman distillery in Northern Ireland is said to have started, which makes it the oldest whiskey in the world. Other than being wholly from Ireland, Irish whiskey is distilled 3 times. This gives it a smoother taste and a more subtle finish. Also, Irish whiskey doesn't have quite so many distinctive categories as say Scotch does or American whiskey. So they have about 4 different categories. So you have your Irish malt whiskey, your Irish pot still whiskey, your Irish grain whiskey, and then you have the Irish blended whiskey. The E in Irish whiskey was simply a way to distinguish themselves against Scotland that spell it without the E. However, this is just a preference and is not written into any laws. I hope you enjoy your St. Paddy's Day. I'm drinking a red breast single pot still 12 year to celebrate today. Sláinte. Very smooth.